To that comes, Mr. Salve, the argument of arbitrariness. The argument being that the Constitution is supreme, the Constitution cannot be played around with. You have a pro-Hindu government creating a policy and a classification for groups who are Hindu. So it is a sort of Hindu for Hindu and kind of approach tomorrow. Yeah. So there the argument of arbitrariness comes.
Is it suggested that let's fantasize, and I can only use I can't use a more polite word. Let's fantasize that Rahul Gandhi was Prime Minister and he brought a law like this. The law would not be arbitrary. But if Modi
I don't know if that's a fantasy or a nightmare, sir, but yes.
But so arbitrariness has to be per se, not because of Hindu nationalist government. If the Congress, in again a fantasy, maybe in a burst of good sense, had brought this law, because right from the days of the Constitution, Pandit Nehru had recognized this. Everybody had recognized this. If before they got caught into this this particular definition of secularism, if they had brought the law, it would not have been arbitrary. But because it is brought by what they call a Hindu nationalist government, a phrase which I despise, if they brought by a Hindu nationalist government, it becomes arbitrary. Arbitrary is something which has no rationale. It is a catchphrase for something which is discriminatory. There are some judgments which have said manifest arbitrariness. Manifest means on the face of it, it is absurd. Now, why is it arbitrary? Because it is discriminatory. Now, make up your mind. Therefore, you're saying it is discriminatory. Discrimination is a recognized head of law in which if something is discriminatory, it violates Article 14. Now, what is discrimination? Discrimination doesn't mean one law for all. You cannot have the same law for the lion and the lamb, as we say. So, there are two principles of constitutional law. It is called underclassification and overclassification. Underclassification is where dissimilar people are treated similarly. The same law for the lion and the lamb. Overclassification is people from the same class are treated differently. So we have to identify the class.
But every single loophole, I would call it a clutching at straws argument. Every straw will be clutched onto for dear life in the fight against CAA. There was this video going around of a 2020 speech by a young lawyer. I think he's Justice Chandrachud's son, Abhinav Chandrachud, where the argument being made in the course of that speech was, sir, can you just check your screen? Why not Jews?
Why not Jews?
Why not Jews?
Yeah, if there were, theoretically, if there were a large number of Jews who were of Indian ethnicity and who were living in Pakistan, then maybe yes, somebody could have said, look, there are Parsis, there are Buddhists, there are Christians, there are Hindus, and there are Jews.
Yeah.
And they're all from the same stock. Why have you left out the Jews? How many people, how many Jews there? And how many people are Jews of Indian origin? Not people who have migrated from what is Central Asia.
Yeah. Yeah, I can hear you, sir. I can hear you.
So one can say, why don't you have Ethiopians? Of course, they are not there.
Yeah. But why not Iranians? Yeah, why not Iranian women who are being discriminated by their own government and their own people by misogynistic rules?
If you go a little further up north, you know the controversy about the Chinese and how they treat the Uyghurs.
Uyghurs, yeah. Why not Uyghur Muslims in China?
What about the Chechens? What about the ethnic cleansing which went on in Eastern Europe? If I wish,
why not? Why not? That's what, no, I'm asking you why not? Why not? I mean, I'm asking you this. The basic argument being put by the set out here.
I wish God had endowed us with the resources to wipe every tear from every eye. But if He can't wipe every tear from every eye, does it mean that we don't wipe any tears at all?